especially in the Badlands. I'm about a mile in so far. Drove about 10.5 hours to get here last night. Never been here before. Don't really know what to expect, you know, what the trails, what anything looks like, but I'm on a 20-mile loop and just gonna go for it and see what I see. Look at this shed, just out in the middle of this huge plain. It's kind of interesting. Kind of looks like it'd be a mule deer. I'm no expert on the real difference in antlers, but the whitetails I see in Kansas, I don't know, they don't look quite like that. I'm just guessing it's a mule deer, but could be wrong. You tell me. Anyway, gosh, it's such a pretty antler. I'd love to keep that, but got a long way to go. Got to keep going. Doesn't really look like it, but the Badlands is just as much a desert as the actual desert. So there is going to be 0 water sources for me on this 20-mile hike. It's early November. It's a dry time. We're right on the verge of going into winter, but there's no flowing water. I haven't seen a single drop, and that's what I expected. So actually for 2 days, 2 nights, I brought 2 gallons of water, which is about 16 pounds that I'm carrying right now on this loop. So staying hydrated and drinking it quicker than I normally would, just because I'm trying to pull some weight off. So I gotta cut a little bit of this weight before I start climbing, especially tomorrow. I'm in like a prairie dog ghost town. I hear a few putting out the alarm calls, but I really thought I'd see more. I don't know, it's crazy. I just saw 2 coyotes coming from this little prairie dog town, so they must have been hunting. So I don't know if everybody's just hiding right now or if some of this is just unused, but I can definitely hear a few still out there. I just can't see them. A lot of action since I came out of that last draw. Stampede of buffaloes, bison, however you want to say it, came running. I mean, they saw me from a long ways away and just started running, and they went the same way I'm supposed to go. So I still have to get by them. I'm a little surprised they're that spooked by me. I mean, I was probably half mile away probably, but anyway, they saw me a lot sooner than I saw them. I feel like I landed on the moon all of a sudden. This is crazy. Definitely more like a desert now. So I saw this across the draw. I was wondering what it was, and it's exactly kind of what I thought it was. Holy cow. Old buffalo skeleton. Oh wow, check that out. How cool is that? Badlands, day one. Pretty impressed. Really impressed with, it's a very dramatic landscape, to say the least, coming from just flat land to just popping up with these cool spires. And probably what surprised me the most, even though I knew there would be a lot of animals out here, bison specifically, the sheer numbers of bison, deer, antelope, honestly just very much surprised me. Like, you always think of Yellowstone as one of those places where you're gonna see all this, all this fauna. And honestly, like, if you want to just come out and see a bunch of big, animals that are just roaming, that used to be these super herds from back, before humans came and hunted them all out. I can't think of a place that'd be a whole lot better than here. I mean, it's incredible. I'm looking around, I see buffalo herd here, buffalo herd here, buffalo herd over there, like just all in my general view. So anyway, super impressed with the animals so far. No complaints except carrying water. I forgot how much it sucked to carry water. I carried water at Big Bend National Park because it's a desert. I was only out for one night. It was heavy, but it wasn't that bad. This time feels a lot heavier, probably because I'm a little bit older now and I haven't been doing a lot of backpacking this year. Actually, not much at all, but it felt really heavy today to carry 16 plus pounds of water. So tomorrow I'm gonna be really happy to be having about half of that. So that was the only downer, but besides that, everything's good. Got a killer campsite, and I don't know, just gonna sit back and catch a sunset, shoot some stars, and get some sleep because it's gonna get dark early. This is the first water I've seen since I've been in here, which is actually more than people I've seen, because I've seen 0 since the trailhead. So it's definitely not a place you want to be if you're desperate for water, but I guess you can make it work. If ever in doubt, I always say, follow the poop. That's what I learned in my Bighorns video a couple years ago. When I couldn't find a good trail, I just looked for animal feces and it led me in the right direction. Follow the poop. So back behind me, that's the maze I went through today. About 7 miles. Started out pretty mellow, lots of grass and stuff, grasslands, tons of bison everywhere. And then it just started getting into the Sage Creek, following the creek for miles and miles. Saw a lot of deer in the creek, coyote. But yeah, started to get pretty tricky. I spent a lot of my time just following my GPS on my phone because it was really hard to follow, but not too hard, just had to keep an eye on where you're going or else you start getting off course pretty fast. But it's just an incredible maze of and beautiful area. So anyway, solid day, not as long as yesterday by any means. Huge difference not carrying all that water. Probably had less than half. I've got just enough to get me through tonight, cook dinner, and have some water for tomorrow morning when I walk out. So perfect amount of water it looks like, but man, kind of messed me up carrying it that first day. It's more weight than I was expecting for a push like that. So I think I did 13 miles day one and just 7 today, so, or maybe something like that. But anyway, getting ready to wrap it up, but kind of hoping that I can see some rams tonight. I'm up at probably one of the highest points you can possibly camp at, realistically, in the Badlands, and I've got these awesome pinnacles all the way around me, and that's where all the sheep live, hopefully. So they're supposed to be breeding season, so they could get lucky enough to even see a ram face off. So anyway, that'd be wishful thinking, but possible. If I just see one, I'll be happy. All right, wrapping up this trip, 20 miles through what I consider some pretty wild land, Badlands National Park, tons of animals, tons of beautiful scenery, incredibly dramatic, as you can see just right behind me. I mean, views like this the whole way. So 20 miles, not too challenging, but there were some difficult scrambles, and you definitely want to be comfortable with wayfinding. So GPS recommended, or map, you know, whatever you like to use. But all in all, super cool park. So glad I did it. I'm really glad I went to the wild area. I haven't seen anybody since the trailhead 2 days ago, so no sign of humans for 2 days, which is pretty wild, especially in a national park. And I didn't see any trash, and hardly even saw maybe a couple footprints towards the, like, as I'm coming back here. So I mean, this place is still wild. The animals still roam like they should. Bison, antelope, deer, coyotes. I mean, I think if you want to look at what a place looked like, especially the West looked like, you know, when Native Americans were out here and settlers, Badlands National Park is just an incredible glimpse into history.